The issue is, you can believe in Jesus as a historical figure, but the question is, do you know Jesus? As far as who Jesus is to me, I never thought I would be a minister. I never thought I would be ministering in all the nations of the world. Over 70 nations God has taken me to. In my heart, only He could have performed that miracle to change me. So if He can change me, I know that He can change anybody.
Hola, bienvenidos todos a esta serie Fotosíntesis del mes de septiembre bajo el nombre Friends. Vamos a tener amigos de casa dándonos principios espectaculares, una entrevista privada que se va a volver con respuestas públicas. Esta semana en nuestra serie Fotosíntesis de septiembre, un invitado muy especial, el pastor Petro desde Estados Unidos, va a responder preguntas muy interesantes para dejarnos principios de vida. No olvides, una píldora de luz que se convertirá en energía. Conéctate.
What does Jesus mean for history, for the church, and for you?
You know, when I think about it, the historical Jesus, the world believes in Him. The whole world believes that Jesus was real, that Jesus lived, Jesus dwelt amongst us. The issue is, you can believe in Jesus as a historical figure, but the question is, do you know Jesus? And as the world right now is coming to terms, is Jesus even real? The only way they could ever see that or know that is if the church walked in His nature and His divineness and literally walked in His heart. And that's why the church has to walk in love. When I look at the church as its reference to Jesus, there's many in the church that only really see Jesus as a historical figure. Being that figure, really, there's nothing in them that permeates Christ. There's nothing in them that really believes from the heart and has that experience with Him so that they can administrate Jesus into the earth. So part of the problem with that type of Christianity is they really don't know Jesus. And so when the world looks at them, they just see other people that look like the world. So they believe in the historical Jesus, but they've never stepped across into that personal relationship with Christ. And I think that's one of the biggest battles we have right now in the body of Christ. We have so many people that have come in under the pretense if, Jesus wants to give you all this stuff. But Jesus has to be preached in the way He was preached in the early church and the way He was preached, by His apostles. And that was, you have to leave everything and come after me. And when we follow that doctrine, when we follow that belief system, that He's first in my life, He's first in everything, then everything begins to develop in that relationship with Him. As far as who Jesus is to me, I never thought I would be a minister. I never thought I would be ministering in all the nations of the world. Over 70 nations God has taken me to. I never really wanted to be in the ministry. I wanted to be in business. I come from a business family. But when the Lord called me and the Lord touched me, I knew then and there that I couldn't say no. I could not just walk away from that call. Even though there was things in my life and there was things that needed to be changed, I knew that Jesus knew better than me. I grew up in the church. I grew up in ministries that there was healing and deliverance and people were being set free. I grew up in Sunday schools where kids would walk in blind and a few weeks later they would see kids on crutches that could hardly walk. All of a sudden they're running around and playing with us, outside. So when I grew up in that environment and I grew up under that type of understanding, I knew that God was real. I knew that Jesus was real. So when He called me to the ministry, it was something for me that was hard to understand why He would call me, because I didn't feel worthy. But in that process, He began to change me. He began to transform me. And every time I said, Lord, you have all my life, I found out it was only just a little section. I said, well, now, Lord, you have all my life. And then it was only a little bigger section. And Lord, now you have my life. And it was a bigger section. And He just kept taking more and more and more. The Bible talks about Him consuming us. And at that point, I realized, I said, Lord, all I want is you. I don't want nothing else. I don't want to be part of the things of the world. And I've been offered many things just to walk away from the church, to walk away from my position. So to me, when I was called, and to see the things I've seen, the visitations I've had, the heavenly hosts, the angelic glories that I've seen, I know that in my heart, only He could have perform that miracle to change me. So if he can change me, I know that he can change anybody. So to me, Jesus is everything. But I'm sure he'll take more and make me understand that a little bit deeper.